Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another great episode of Kyndra's Corner Comedic Edition, man. Kyndra's Corner, the comedy edition, is just a podcast where I'm able to let my hair down. I can sit here be as silly as I want to. I'm not media trained. I make sure to bring people who are on. These are comedians or people who need to be, out there doing stand up. Like I have an eye for talent, right? And so I do hit y'all with one interesting news, one random poll, and it's just a lot of great conversation. But before I go ahead and bring my first guest to the stage, I need y'all to please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, share this episode with as many people as you can, because I don't think you want to miss it. The first person I'm going to be bringing to the stage, I found out that she's really a janitor at the hospital. She's out here lying, talking about, oh, I love my patients, y'all. Workflow, love my patients. Anita Valentina, you've been caught. Why are you out here talking about it? You love your patients and you're really a janitor.
Because I still have patients. They're just all over the hospital,
Oh my gosh. You know what I did not realize until it was like, this was much later on. I found out the most people who deal a lot of the co-workers who really mess around with each other, it's a lot of it's people at the hospital, like doctors, nurses. And I said,
yes.
I don't actually have time because a typical work shift is 12 hours, either 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Baby, I'm tired. I don't have time when I get off to be like, oh, I'm in the mood. No, I've been at work all day dealing with germs, dealing with people. How do they end up? And then they say flight attendants as well, which that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Did that surprise you about the fact when it came with hospitals and the doctors and all that? Did that surprise you, or do you like I figured out?
Not really, because I have many friends who are nurses and the tea be piping hot, okay? The tea they be sharing or who they're sleeping with, and I was like, oh, y'all ain't shit, okay?
Let me ask you, Anita, how do they act? Do they work 12-hour shifts? How do they still have the energy to do that?
That I don't know. I don't know where they get it from, because they do in fact work the 12-hour shifts, especially nurses. They are working those 12 hours. And I'm just like, how do you have the time to do anything besides go home and sleep?
Mm-hmm. Got you.
I don't understand.
Any of them, have you ever heard a story where any of them got caught up in the sense of their husband or the wife came and they said, I knew it? Has it ever, they ever said it was like a showdown at work?
Yes, actually, one of my friends was sleeping with one of the doctors who swore up and down he was single. One day, his pregnant wife gets admitted to the hospital because she was having complications.
The same hospital?
Yes. Usually, they live in a different county, so their regular hospital is not the one the doctor works at.
Yeah.
But she just so happened to be in that area when she was having problems and got admitted to the hospital her husband is at. And the nurse, oh my God, my friend, I felt so bad for her because she genuinely thought he was single and everything, but he was just trifling. He was being a trifling man. Okay.
Come on. Now, did she actually give the time period of how long it took for her? The day that she messed around with him, let's say it's January, did it take 6 months later for everything to come to a whole, when did it all come to
It was after about 4 months. They were in a committed relationship, And I was like, baby girl, you can't be in a committed relationship with a doctor without doing your background on said doctor. Okay? Because a lot of these doctors are out here married already.
Bro, aren't they? Listen,
yeah.
And we got one other person. We got one other person who was able to finally get a chance to make it, man. I just want to let y'all know. She does not open up her butt cheeks in the shower. So at this point, she should not be giving life advice to nobody. Meg Evans, I'm done taking your life advice. Once I realized you don't open up your butt cheeks in the shower, how dare you?
Well, you need to use a pressure wash. If you're just not opening them, then you're having a problem. The point is to keep them shut and use the pressure washer to do a deeper clean.
That's it.
out in your hands.
That's it. That's why I got in my shower, man. I'm glad for that. So thank you so much. This is Meg's first time. She made it, all that type of stuff. And she's calling in from Canada. So a Canadian is in the house, and that is exciting. And there's one of her bad cats who sat there trying to stop her from coming on the show. And it's okay. It's all right. I'm going to roast that cat shortly. Now, we were just talking about, before we get into our interest in news and everything. So we were just talking about, doctors, and as far as with like knowing that the nurses, like there's so much, basically cheating and sleeping around in the hospital, right? And so, let me ask you, Meg, because Anita just gave her, when it came with a homegirl of her story, how she got caught up with thinking that the doctor was single. It's like, bro, a doctor, like a club promoter, a used car salesman, they're all the same thing, right? Now, Meg, have you ever either A, fallen or almost fell for a doctor, or B, had a good friend of yours who actually fell for a doctor and got caught up in the mess?
Let me think. Me, definitely no. I'm not the type of girl that doctors date. Pretty clearly. No. I think I know a couple scientists. Does that count? A couple scientists that dated other scientists.
Are we talking about Bill Nye the Science Guy?
No, they're neuroscience students.
Oh, okay.
But no, Bill Nye the Science Guy, though, I think people don't give him enough credit. He's pretty cute.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about. He likes to do fun things with the kids. He's not bad looking. I'm surprised that he didn't get snapped up.
Yeah.
Could have been a good star in sitcoms.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what happened with the neuroscientists, the friend in the neurosciences and everything else like that? Did like his wife find out and then she tried to fight the woman? Like, what happened?
Oh no, nothing fun like that. They were young, so they parted ways, and that's it. Sorry, I don't have nothing too interesting to talk about. I mean, let me rephrase that. I personally have lots of drama relating to doctors, just not romantic drama.
Okay.
Any of that.
Got you. No, I understand. Well, no. So I actually used to work before I go to my first, the interesting news and stuff. I used to work for a doctor, and he was a man, this African guy who literally, it's like what is that? I forgot what that term is called, but he hated his skin complexion, right? He was of a darker skin complexion, but he hated his skin complexion. And he would always make this statement saying, the women in the office, they had to be lighter skinned. And he hired me because like, oh, you're a lighter skinned woman. I'm like, I'm not light skinned. What are you talking about, right? But he said everybody had to be lighter skinned. So it's already started. You know how there are red flags that you don't catch on because you're young and you don't, your frontal lobe is not really developed and you don't really, So
what
anyway,
was the reason he was giving for why you had to be lighter skinned then?
Because his mother was lighter skinned. And so he just was one of those men, like, I don't know if you ladies have ever met a man or thought about dating a man who was like a mama's boy and like allowed mom to influence their life or their way of thinking. And you're like, what, Anita, I know you got a story. Go ahead. Quick story, Anita.
Story time. Okay. So my most recent ex, I didn't realize he was a mama's boy until we got engaged, and his mama totally flipped the script on me. Okay, she was not nice to me anymore, and he was like, no, he like wasn't taking my word for it. I was like, oh my God, what do you mean? She was doing all these things and like making all these like comments. She was like low-key being racist towards me, and I was like telling him about it, and I was like, no, but he was not listening. Jump time comes for the wedding, and then boom, she said something racist to me in front of him. And then he was like, I'm sorry I didn't believe you or anything, but she was like, that's my mom and blah blah blah.
That's my mom.
Yeah.
No, you're making up excuses for her.
Yes, he was, and he's to this day he still does. That she didn't mean it and blah blah blah. And I was like, she looks at you like you're her husband, not her son. And I said, that's weird. That's weird, dude. Mm-hmm. But he was like, that's not true. And I was like, okay, whatever you want to say, but like that's weird.
let me ask. And now, Anita, I remember you did mention that. I was like, wait, she's talking about the same mother. I remember that you did mention that she was racist. Did she call you an SPIC?
No, she did not. But
Okay.
she would refer to me as Mexican, but I'm not Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican.
Mm.
Um, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
And then my ex's sister is married to a man who's Mexican
Mm-hmm.
and got pregnant and was like, I hope the baby don't come out too Mexican.
What?
And I was like, yeah. I was like, girl, I said, that baby's going to be half Mexican and karma's a bitch because that baby looks exactly like the daddy.
Good.
Like, the mama ain't do no work.
Yeah. That's funny. Meg, let me ask you, have you ever came across anybody that you dated and they were like a mama's boy and it's like they let mom just rule their entire life? Have you ever came across? Go ahead, tell your story.
I mean, you know, I'd say that they were all mama boys in one way or another, but some of them, affected me more or less. My last 10-year relationship, his sister was my best friend in high school.
Mm-hmm.
We've known each other for a very long time. Their mom died when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was drama, like mama drama. Like he was a major mama's boy, and it basically broke him.
Mhm.
So like even many years later, when we ended up dating for 10 years, like if I ever bickered with my own mother, who I love my mother dearly, we'd get on each other's nerves because we're very different people.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever like he would just default to taking her side because over me if ever there was an argument between us because he wanted to be on mom's side, So like even if it's not your mom, I guess being a mama's boy carries over to the next mother figure.
Yeah.
But no, the worst one, the one that I would say was a mama's boy for real, was I dated this guy for 4 years. We broke up like in the middle for like a month and a half, right after he had brought me home to meet his parents in Turkey.
Mm.
And I was really scared. Like I get nervous when I can't communicate. I speak French and English bilingually, but that's it. So I get really, really nervous when I don't think I'm going to be able to be clear because I'm always nervous. So take my language away and I'm a mess. So I learned like conversational Turkish. I spent months practicing. And when we got there, I found out it was utterly useless because by the time you say anything, like to the bus driver, you're saying it so slow that they're already gone. So basically, I had to retire it. But his mom had her heart set on being able to talk to her quote unquote future daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
But she really, really didn't speak any English like at all. So basically, all we could do would be like point at things on the dinner table, like this is sugar, sheker, and like try and learn like that, which was fun. But I did not enjoy being like locked for long periods of time with her where I can't talk to her. If like for example, dinner at their house. It's not that unusual considering the culture, but my ex would go sit and watch TV after dinner with his dad, sorry. And it would just be assumed that I would be going to the kitchen to help his mother. Now, I have zero problem helping his mother in the kitchen. What I do object to is that he didn't join. He lives on the other side of the world now. He doesn't get to spend time with her. So I was like, why am I the only one doing this? And of course, it was what I expected. It was, this is what the women do, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, he slowly, at first he accepted that we're just very, very different people, she and I have no desire to live the life that she lives or make choices that she made, which I'm not judging her for them. They're just not for me. But yeah, over the last like year and a half, I'd say it was just a lot of like, oh, well, my mom told me I'm the best looking boy in the world every day my entire life. I'm like, well, that shows. Because, like my parents said I look cute too, but they'll also tell me when I look like ass. And they also definitely didn't say ever to me, not once, you're the most beautiful person in the world. Like, because that's just setting itself up for a spoiled brat. And it did. And I was just like, the more time I spent with him, the more like the love goggles came off. And the more I'm like, okay, so you're just a grown ass man who does whatever his mom tells you to. And you like, anyway, gonna start rambling and getting mad about this. But yeah, He teaches his teacher now.
Listen, I definitely understand, and that's a shame. Like you said, really, I spent my life or spent time learning this language just to find out she doesn't even speak this. Like basically your time was wasted, right? You could have done something else, picked up, knitting or whatever in that realm. And you're like, hey, we don't, that's a lot, right? But I was going to say before I go to, the interesting news, but yeah, this doctor, his wife was light skinned and lighter skin complexion, but he was horrible. He treated her like crap. They had one of those arranged marriages too. I feel bad for people who had those arranged marriages because baby, ain't no way, right? So let me go ahead, quickly go into the interesting news. So this is a Greek legend. This is a true story. Greek legend. There was a famous prostitute who managed to avoid a death sentence by showing the judges her breast and arguing that it would be a crime against the gods to destroy something so beautiful. And it's actually true. So, hey, she won. So, Anita,
yay!
What are your thoughts on this?
I love that for her. And, as she should, because she's correct. Why would you want to destroy something so beautiful?
Exactly.
I would still try that today, even though I'm a raging.
Yeah, I would definitely try it today.
Still try.
Listen, Anita, you already got a head start, right? It's just like
I do.
Listen, Anita came prepared for the episode, all right? She's a prop comedian.
Yes.
So let me ask Meg. I'm gonna come to you with the random poll. So who do you, in your honest opinion, who do you think gets away with more because of their looks? Do you believe it's men or women, and why?
And I have to pick one of the two?
Yeah. Or just tell me why you feel like, well, just go ahead. Give me a reason why on each end.
Okay, I'm going to have to talk myself into it while I'm choosing. Because basically, it's a scientific fact that humans think that other humans that are attractive, they think that they are more trustworthy, more honest, more loyal, smarter, nicer. They assume all of these things subconsciously about someone that they find attractive. It's obviously these are, generalizations, but they're heavily backed up by science. It's just probably something to do with seeing someone as a healthy mate, like a healthy potential mate.
Yeah.
So maybe more basal, earlier evolved things are telling us that, someone who can demonstrate physical prowess. So maybe they play sports. So maybe they're in good shape. That means they'd be able to protect us. Or if someone hasn't lost their hair at a certain age, then maybe they will have stronger genes for their children. There's just things like that I think are ingrained in us. So as much as it's unfair, it's very unfair. Trust me, I've lived it. My weight and appearance has fluctuated a great deal in the last 30 plus years. And there's a massive difference in how people treat me. If I am heavier or lighter or wear makeup or don't makeup, if I don't wear makeup these days and I'm heavier than I've ever been, I'm pretty much invisible. I'll stand at a bar for 20 minutes before someone bothers to take my order. Whereas if I dress it up a little, put on some makeup, maybe try and have a little bit more outward confidence or whatever, it's night and day. So I can't say it doesn't happen that women will get noticed and maybe presumed to be better at things they may not be better at if they're good looking. However, I think there's a double side to that because if you're presumed to be all of those things just based on your looks, then you're going to disappoint people more often than not, and then you'll get punished for that as a woman. I find,
Gotcha.
In my experience.
Understand.
So
Anita,
initial benefit, but
yeah. Anita, go ahead. What would you say? Who, in your opinion, who do you believe gets away more because of their looks? Is it men or women, and why?
If it's solely based on looks, in my personal opinion and personal experience, it's women. Because let's face it, men are easy in lots of aspects.
Yeah.
They're easy in lots of aspects. And they see a pretty girl or a pretty woman and they just become obsessed. And they want to please and please and please and please, or they want to impress or do anything they can do to get in her good graces. I'm not saying it doesn't happen for men because it definitely does too. But I think like if we had to pick one, I think definitely women more because I have a lot of really beautiful friends
Yeah.
and they're always running game on some of these. I'm like, yo,
Maybe
this
I
is
should
like
get your friends to
it's
teach
it'd be
you.
too true. Yeah, babe, I'll sign you up for some lessons. Some lessons, yeah, for sure.
All
Oh
right.
God, the
All
best
right.
actress
Is
in
it
the
going to be
room for
called
that.
Valentina's Hotline? Like, what's the name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's
we'll
a
call it
pretty name.
Anita Valentina's hotline.
There it is. There it is. Well, let me say this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna end out because I know Meg has to go to a show this evening and everything, and I did say 20 to 25 minutes and stuff. So I will say this. I honestly, so I think here's the thing. I think it depends on who it is. Like for example, if you're Chris Brown, oh baby, you're gonna get away with murder, right? If you're
Yeah.
Usher, you're gonna get away with it. Justin Timberlake, I mean, he's still, last I checked, he was handsome. But I don't know what he looks like now. But Justin Timberlake, Matthew McConaughey, okay, Daddy
Channing
Yankee,
Tatum.
yeah. Oh, ooh, yes,
None of these men are my type.
yes. but
Sorry.
here's what I will say. I remember there was this guy named Malcolm. Malcolm, I had a huge crush on him. It was high school, and so I told the teacher. Shout out to my teacher. I don't remember her name. But I told the teacher, I was like, ooh, because she gave us assigned seats in high school, which wait, is that what did they do that to y'all in high school? Did they give y'all assigned? Okay, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
we're on the same. You know what's crazy? High school is supposed to prepare you for adulthood, but it's like
And it don't.
we don't really get prepared. Like I'm like, well, when you go to college, you can wear whatever you want, right? Why do you have an issue with a shoulder? It's a shoulder is out. How you gonna get hard off of a shoulder? What's wrong with you teachers, right? Anyway.
I had a Catholic schoolgirl uniform, and they measured how high.
Me too.
Skirt was.
Well, wait,
Why
man, you
my
went to Catholic
atheist parents
school?
sent me to a Catholic school.
I went to Catholic high school.
Yeah, I remember Anita said that. Meg, you went to a Catholic school. Did you go middle and high school?
No, just high school, thank God. But we don't really do middle school. It's high school. It's all high
Oh,
school.
okay, gotcha.
Grade
okay.
elementary ends in grade 6. Then high school is 7 to 11, and then grade 12 and 13 are not really high school. There's something called CJEP. It's like college. Basically, it's a 2-year program, or it can be a 3-year program if you just do like photography and then that's your degree. But it's mostly a 2-year pre-university program that is free, or like $100 a year. So you can spend 2 years trying to live like university students do, so that you can keep up when you switch, but also like, maybe find out in 2 years after spending a couple $100 that you hate the major you chose, instead of after having spent a year's tuition of university or more.
Got you.
So yeah, they only had me for 5 years.
They're very informative. Listen, very informative. Well, let me go ahead and say this just so I can go ahead and let you say your socials and you can, fly out of here, Meg. Fly out of here. So let me say this. This guy named Malcolm, my teacher gave us assigned seats. And I said, can you please sit me next to him? And so she's like, okay, I'm going to sit you next to him. But she did it in the most slick way. She's like, hold on, wait, I need to trade. Like, I think the next day, I need to change some seats around because I'm not liking the order. And so she sat me next to him and I was so excited. I'm like, I'm sitting next to my crush. He was a loser. Like, he was a freaking loser, bro. I was so disappointed because it's like, he got upset with me because I didn't let him cheat off of me, or something didn't, help him with his work. And I'm like, bro, I thought you were better than this. Then he sat here. I'm like, bro, I think you knew I liked you. You felt that I liked you. You sit here telling me about some other girl in my grade level that is a good times girl. She gets around. You think I want to hear that? That's the end of the story. So what I say, I do agree with Anita. Anita's like, listen, I really believe women do get away with more. But the only problem that I have, like for me, I never got away with like, let's say I've had a guy, old man, I had to get an oil change. He asked for my number and I thought, okay, well, he worked at the car dealer, the mechanic shop. But I said, okay, maybe he'll give me a free oil. I'll get the hookup. No, he just wanted my number, old man. Like, sir, you know that you got to pay to play. You're old. But that was on me for not saying, if I give you my number, you're going to have to give me a free oil change. That was on me. So unfortunately, with my looks, I haven't got away with much because I didn't know to really demand. So I lost out, but guess what? I don't care no more. I'm just now living my life for God and Ooh, being a
I'll use it
missionary.
whenever I have an opportunity for as many years left as I might get opportunities, and I don't feel bad about it. My dad was a little horrified the last time he saw me being like super flirty to get something. I forget, like a space in line or something. It wasn't worth anything, but I knew what I was doing. And he's like, "Oh my god, like you're a feminist. What is this that I'm seeing?" I'm like, "It's very simple. When you guys fix the sexism against us, I'll stop using my feminine wiles. You first.
That's it.
Oh wait.
That's it.
Yeah.
Meg, go ahead, because I know you got to go ahead and go. Tell us where they can
right.
find you on socials, what your up and coming shows, the whole nine.
So for socials, you can always find me at Meg Evans _ comic reliefs with an S. Technically, it's an art and comedy channel. That's why the name. But a lot of people are just like, why comic reliefs isn't still around? But no, it's Meg Evans _ comic reliefs. That's where pretty much all my stuff is. I do have a Facebook, but it was been like my Facebook private for the last 25 years, and there's no way I'm going over like 2,000 posts to make sure they're not offensive. So Facebook is private. Don't bother. It's there. I do have Threads as well with the same handle, the Meg Evans _ comic reliefs. Working on setting up a YouTube, but haven't done that yet. But when I do, it will be under the same name.
That works. That works. Well, thank you, Miss Meg, for joining us and everything else like that. Miss Anita, go ahead. Let the people know where they can go ahead and find you, because you're pretty easy across the board.
Yeah, y'all can find me everywhere at Anita X Valentina across all socials. Very simple. Type it in, Google it, whatever you need to do. Boom, I pop up.
There it is. There it
Yep.
is. Oh, let me say this real quick before we end out. My brother ended up, speaking of Malcolm, this is a few years ago, right? Post high school, a few years ago. He ends up hanging out. He calls me from FaceTime. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, look who it is. I didn't know who that was. I said, hey, who's this? He's like, it's Malcolm. I'm like, oh, hey. He's like, yeah, what's going on? He wanted to, like, I guess, exchange numbers. No, thank you. I got to go. I'm thinking, why would you call me? We weren't friends. We just sat next to each other in class. And he don't even look as good anymore. This has been a great episode of Kyndra's Corner. Make sure you all like, comment, subscribe. Turn that notification bell on so you all are not missing any more of these exclusive great interviews and new guests that we're having on. With that being said, you all be blessed. You all be safe. We are out.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much.